Guys, welcome back. So this is a really super quick vid. The title should say it all. Carson Spouts Naked. I just want to chat a bit about that with you quickly. And again, in this chatting to you about Carson Spouts Naked, all I'm actually doing is giving you, again, free knowledge, free wisdom. All you need to do is listen, practice, adhere, and kind of believe. And you will grow, you will benefit. Again, this is for your growth that I'm doing this. So all I ask is if you do like, show the like, share the vids, share the knowledge, help me get it out there. Again, if you need any of my services from spell work to readings, consultations, give a shout. I will definitely get back. Okay, so casting spells naked. Firstly, you don't have to do it naked. There are certain entities and deities and practices where it is encouraged. Okay, there is power in it, which is why I'm going to speak a bit about it. So firstly, when you cast spells naked, you mainly want to do this in either really, really important cases for clients that are really massive, also cases that are very personal to you. And if it's a spell for yourself, I do encourage you with certain entities to go ahead and cast it naked. It changes the ball game a bit. It changes the energy frequency in your room, the presence where spell has been taking place. Firstly, it is purely, remember, we're working in all the different dimensions all the time, especially when we're doing spell work and invocation. We're working in our dimension and the spiritual dimension. So firstly, being naked rids us of any form of hiding, right? It makes you vulnerable, and entity sees this and they actually appreciate this, especially when you do this or any act consciously. Doing something subconsciously is one thing, but doing an act consciously holds power. So if you're doing a spell naked and for the right reasons with the entity, right, it shows, and it's an offering of vulnerability, of trust. And it's a pure representation of your masculinity or femininity, depending on if you boy or girl. It's a representation of freedom as well, and calmness and oneness. So those are the basic emotions and offerings behind being naked. Also, you will experience a different flow with you. I do it sometimes with goetic spells, but every single time, and this might sound perfect to some, don't watch the vid. Try it for yourself though. When I work with Orisha, the Orisha spells, I choose to cast it naked. I feel nothing but myself, entities present, the spell work, and that energy, and I feel that whole field on my body, in my body, and I'll start to work it, right? So always keep in mind, you'll have your altar set up, entities representation, entities sigil, petition, candles, all the necessary offerings and the correct setup. The other component to the spell is actually you being naked, you being there vulnerable, you being there clean. Firstly, I always shower before I do a spell like that as well. Make sure you are clean, like really, really clean. Not generally clean, but like fucking clean, okay? I offer myself and my energy there with trust, vulnerability, calmness, oneness. And every single time I cast a spell, when I choose to do it naked, especially with the Orisha, you feel a different flow. And I promise you guys, you will feel that flow. Doing it firstly consciously while you're doing it, it's an offering, it's a sign of respect, oneness, calmness, trust, vulnerability, all of that. And whatever you start to feel when you start to work that spell, guys, please don't overthink it. I'm teaching this to you for free. Don't overthink it. Don't second guess it. Don't stop it. I often, and I'm not a dancer at all, I actually got like no rhythm, but when I'm working spells, I always move in certain ways depending on who I'm working with. And some are a bit more elaborate and long than others. I often feel like I'm doing kung fu sometimes, especially with the goetic. When I work Orisha, I find myself doing like African type of moves and drumming affects my body. It's because I'm so much more open to their presence and they will give me so much more. So whatever you start to feel, guys, physically, move with it. I encourage you, don't stop until you feel it starts to dissipate from your presence. Then the spell work is almost finished for that session then. That's what it means. And if you also, once you move and if you start to see or feel or think things, call it out and note it down. Because a lot of times you're given bonus information as well, just because of how you're representing yourself. I hope it makes sense, guys. And again, if you want any further of my help, teachings, spell work, readings, give me a shout. I will get back, guys. Have a good one.